Good morning. This morning at J&J's Maintenance and More, we're going to be changing out the fuel filter on a 2015 Chevy Duramax. Maintenance, nothing wrong other than it's just time to change it. So it's not a real difficult process. Probably one of the hardest things to do is take this inner fender well out. There's 17, 18 bolts in here holding it on. Once they're out, you just kind of flex it around and it pops out. Once it's out, you can have access to the fuel filter. Here's the fuel filter right here. This is a water sensor at the bottom and a plug over here. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to unplug this water sensor, and then we're going to spin this filter off of here. And you're probably going to get a little bit of diesel fuel on you, so if you don't like that, you'll need some rubber gloves or something to take care of your delicate hands. Me, I don't care. Been doing this stuff my whole life. Ain't killed me yet. So anyways, here's the fuel filter. What we're going to do here is we're going to bring it over. Going to get rid of some of the fuel that's in it. So we don't make too much more of a mess. Once that's done, I'm going to bring this over to a vise because it just makes it a little bit easier. Clamp it in here. I'm going to take these and I'm going to delicately, so we don't crush this piece here because this water sensor is plastic, we're just going to delicately spin it off till it's loose. Once it's off, we'll get rid of this old filter. So throw this away. Let it finish draining out. I'm going to come over here. We have a new filter here. We have new O-rings here. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to pull this old O-ring off of here. I'm going to make sure there's no dirt and water and debris in the bottom there. And I'm going to open up this package of new O-rings. We'll put a new O-ring on here. I'm going to lubricate this one up with just a little bit of diesel fuel so that the O-ring doesn't kink or twist when it's going in. We'll screw this back in. Now this part here, you don't want to put a brand new filter in a vise. So you hold this as tight as that you can. You put these pliers back on here delicately, and you just spin it as tight as you can. Once that's done, I'm going to take just a little bit of grease, not a lot, but I just put a little bit of grease around the top here because this does not have a really good groove in it to hold the O-ring in while you're putting it back together. So you don't want that O-ring falling out. Once that's on there, you're going to put this on here. The grease will help hold it in place. I'm going to get it lubricated up a little bit so it doesn't kink when we're going back together. I'm going to put just a little bit here on this O-ring. And at that point, we're ready to put this back up in there and tighten it up. So we're going to carefully fish this back up through here. We're going to find the adapter up here, and we're going to pop that into place. And we're going to get this to screw back up in there. Sometimes it's a little bit hard to get it started. That's why I like to put a little bit of grease on it. And this one's being a real pain in my ass. So we've got this in place, we got it tightened up. There's no gasket sticking out around the edge. You just got to kind of feel for that. Make sure you didn't kink that gasket. We're going to make sure that this is a drain. This here is a water sensor, and if you ever get a water light, you can drain the water out the bottom here. You make sure that that's tight. Then we're going to come back over here and plug it back in. So it's plugged in, snapped in, so you won't get any crazy lights and stuff like that. Now what you need to do, excuse me, is you're going to have to come to the top side of the truck. And I'll show you what we have to do in here. Let me borrow the camera a sec. If you look, if I can get this on there properly, let me find it in the camera. Having a hard time getting this on there where you all can see it. There you go. If you can see down in there, you see a little black screw, flat-headed screw / nut. And in front of that, there's a round pump. What you're going to do is you're going to crack that screw loose and then pump that pump until you get fuel coming out of the screw, and then you're going to tighten the screw back up. The screw is plastic, so be careful. The last truck that I did, that I owned, I ended up replacing that with a metal bleeder screw. So I'm going to pause this for a minute, and when we get ready to bleed, I'll do my best to demonstrate that.